Hi, I'm Steve Thompson, president of Emery Thompson Machine.
I'm Christi Brown, Vice President of Sales and Marketing.
And this is Samantha Jane, and this is Stella Jane. Usually when we do these, I try to pick my most important topic first, so that if people get bored of listening to me, at least I got the most important thing out. So my first one is a public service announcement. Has nothing to do with ice cream, but I feel it's that important. You know that we're a company, family-owned, that loves our golden retrievers and all dogs in general. So I want to send out this public service announcement to you and offer you to call me up about it at any time, 7 days a week. Sammy and Stella, where did she go?
She left.
Oh, she left.
She was bored already.
Sammy and Stella have been going through what we thought was kennel cough, even though they weren't exposed to any dogs and were not put into any kennels any time, which then turned into pneumonia. And this has been going on for 3.5 months. It's been a real battle to get them well, and we've done it. I've done everything from different antibiotics to homeopathic drops for the cough, to every morning and evening we're still going into a small bathroom, turning on the shower, and creating steam to loosen up their lungs. They're all healthy now, and thank goodness, but this is now being called, it's a mystery dog illness, is what I think they are calling it, for lack of a better term. I know of some dogs up in New York State that have it, another one in Florida. It's spreading around, and it's extremely dangerous. It's pneumonia, and you know how that is on humans. It's even just as difficult on dogs. We went through a whole series of things with our veterinarian, who is fantastic. We started with a drug called doxycycline and prednisone. Doxycycline is a very strong antibiotic. Prednisone was to help them ease with the cough. It didn't do the job completely, so we went on to something I can't even pronounce, something like enrofloxacin. I'm sure I've got that wrong. But it did work. We've cured our dogs. And if you run into this problem and all of a sudden your dog is coughing and it's so debilitating that they're standing there and then all of a sudden just fall to the floor, give me a call. I'll go through the procedures that we did, but you've got to get to your vet really quickly, very quickly. It's quite dangerous, quite lethal.
But they're all happy today. Huh?
Yes, they are.
As you can't see, she's relaxing on the floor.
She gets paid to relax on the floor.
She does. So I had a customer that was reading my book, and he asked a question of, in the things you should know section, it lists that water-based products and ice cream should be stored at different temperatures. I assume you could always store the both at the same temps. Can you do that? Absolutely. So always the colder the better. So the reason why it's listed as 2 separate temperatures is because not everybody does ice cream and not everybody does Italian ice, and there are some that do both. So preferably anything that's 10 below 0 is always best if you're going to combine the two, but yes, you can keep the two of them in the same, oops, almost dropped that, in the same hardening cabinet or chest freezer.
How about serving temperature, though?
No, serving temps are different. It's also in the things that you should know. So Italian ice needs to be about 16 degrees for scooping, and ice cream needs to be about 6. So it's about 10 degrees difference. So you're going to need 2 different chest freezers or dipping cabinets to serve either or.
I got a question that had a baffling question to it, but a legitimate, a legitimate answer. I'm trying to clean it up.
Okay.
A legitimate answer. The question is there any way to take vitamin D or whole milk and turn it into an acceptable ice cream? I had to think about that one. But let's go from the, I'm just going to say no. Vitamin D, of course, is going to be great for your health, wards off COVID and other stuff. But it's the whole milk we want to look at. Ice cream is a federal term. When something's called ice cream, it means that it is 10% milk fat, or we use the term butter fat, 10% milk fat or higher. We had, growing up, a term that you don't hear anymore called, gee, I've even forgotten it now. It's so long ago.
I don't know.
But it was
Can't help.
Ice milk. Ice milk was not ice cream, according to the federal government. It was below 10%. The way that people got around that is they called it things like yogurt and gelato. Gelato, for the most part, is a low-fat ice cream. They can't call it ice cream because it's not ice cream. It's too low a fat content. But with the lower fat, they claim that it is healthier for you. Technically it is, but in order to freeze in any machine on the market, what's helping it to freeze is the sugar. So where a Haagen-Dazs might be a high-fat ice cream and a gelato might be a low-fat ice cream, the low-fat gelato has a ton of extra sugar in it. Lots and lots of sugar. Otherwise, it won't freeze in anybody's batch freezer. So when this gentleman says he wants to make ice cream in a pinch out of whole milk, yes, you could do it, but it's going to have a lot of sugar in it. So again, anything that is 10% fat or higher is going to be legally called ice cream. Anything below that, you won't hear the term ice milk anymore. You'll hear gelato or
dirty word, soft
serve, things like that. So there are legal terminologies for this of what you can do and what you can make.
Very good. I would like to purchase a CB200, but I am concerned about the electrical because will it work in my home? Yes, you guys have heard me over time and time again, and Steve, about how I have the 200 myself in my home that I do a lot of flavor and develop for the company, and it's a 115 volt. It's just a normal outlet like you would your hair dryer, a toaster, a microwave. Plug it in, take it with you anywhere you want to go. You can make frozen lemonade at a party. You can do wine slushies. There's possibilities are endless in ice cream. So that CB200 can go anywhere with you and go plug in anywhere in your house.
I don't have an Emery Thompson
in
my. I don't have one in my house. What's wrong with this picture?
I make better ice cream than you, so that's what's.
That's true. I taught her everything I know, and now she's teaching me everything she knows. She does make better ice cream. She, Christi.
Yes,
that girl. We're going to do a joint question here. For Italian ices, there are two ways to do it that we both like. We tend towards supermarket shopping. By that I mean we go to the supermarket to make Italian ice, which is water, sugar, and flavor. We're getting water from the sink, cold water. We're buying pure cane sugar at the supermarket. And then the flavorings, both Christi and I like to grocery shop. We can go down the ice cream aisle at the supermarket and buy bags of frozen strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, mango, everything you could want. It was picked at the height of freshness, frozen solid. All you have to do is thaw it and pour it in the Emery Thompson. Don't try that in any other batch freezer, it won't go in. And you've got the most fantastic Italian ice in the world. Sometimes your market isn't going to want that level of quality. If you're doing Yankee Stadium and all they want is something cold and watered down beer, then you can use a lesser grade of product. Or there's some flavors like bubble gum or root beer that are just not going to be able to be bought at the supermarket in a way that you can use it. We don't have bubblegum trees growing in Florida, as I like to say. So we use a liquid, either a base or a flavor from two different companies. So with shipping costs getting high, a gallon jug of base is getting quite expensive. It's a 1 whole gallon jug to a 24-quart batch freezer, which is 2 tubs. If you're using a flavor, which is the, Christi will tell you more detail, but it's all the good stuff without adding extra sugar and water. It's going to go a lot further and your shipping cost is going to be low. So let me turn it over to Christi and she'll explain the difference and why both are acceptable, but with rising costs, you might want to look at the other one.
Right. So as we were talking about bases, so bases has sugar already added into it and things like that. So when you use that whole gallon jug, it's got sugar mixed in with it. You have to add a wee bit more sugar into the machine, but not nearly as much as what you would here. But sugar is very, very, very cheap, not very costly. So an example, this is a flavoring by Weber Flavors. This is a butter pecan, and from my understanding, I was told that a very, very large ice cream chain that you buy off of the shelf uses this flavoring here for their butter pecan. So that was pretty exciting to hear. So this is a flavoring. There's no sugars added or anything of that sort, but you would have to add your own sugars. Now, as Steve had mentioned with the base, you would have to use a whole jug of that to go into the machine. Flavoring, you need ounces. So in example, this could last you for 60 batches. One of these
Wow.
can last you for 60 batches. It's a little bit more costly than, buying a base, I think just double, but you would have to buy 2 of those for the one of these, but you'd get 60 batches out of this. So butter pecan flavoring. But Weber Flavors has been making flavors since 1902. So they're pretty much, in the industry for a long time, and I think they know what they're doing. Mark is a really great guy. He'll do what he can to help you. You can reach out to him. Send me an email or give me a call, Christi at emerythompson.com, and I can send you his info, or it's Marks, M-A-R-K-S, at weberflavors.com. And Weber is just one B, so W-E-B-E-R, flavors.com. You can buy 1 gallon at a time. You can buy 16 gallons at a time. They sell direct. There's no distributors or anything of that sort. You can make a multi-pack if you like. I have his Blue Moon, and I'm super excited to go and try that one. That's it. That's about the difference. They're both really great products using a base or a flavoring, but with the cost and shipping and rise in prices and stuff, going with the flavoring will be a lot more cost effective, lasting you 60 batches for one of these guys. And this one's a natural strawberry flavor too, so sorry, I'm kind of backtracking again, aren't I? You can use the strawberry flavoring and then still add real strawberries. Same thing with the butter pecan. You can add the butter pecan flavoring and then add real pecans. So that's what you can do with an Emery Thompson. So everybody else that's using bases and syrups and stuff and flavorings and whatnot, you can still add, whole ingredients to give it a great bold texture and an extra oomph and flavor.
So I just want to make sure I've got this straight. So I can either buy one of those gallon jugs of a base, and I use it once, and that's it.
That's it.
Or I can buy one of those jugs of flavor, both weighing the same, both having the same shipping cost, but that's going to make 60 batches instead of 1 batch.
That's what it's showing here.
And the 2 biggest costs you're going to run into today and going forward in your business are going to be labor and shipping costs. So you've got to do something about the shipping costs. You can't make that gallon jug get any lighter. But if you can get 60 out of that as opposed to 1, that's a big savings.
It is that, and they sell direct, and that's a big deal too, because you don't have a distributor making a markup on that product that they were sold to. That's one thing that we don't have as distributors and reps and things like that, because we sell direct to you, which also keeps our costs down. So that's another big bonus about selling direct with flavorings.
Christi, one last thing on that also is if I'm buying my fresh frozen strawberries at the supermarket and putting it into an Italian ice, strawberries are kind of bland. They don't have a ton of flavor. So if I was to add some of that flavoring to my already natural product, my sugar water and strawberries, I'm going to have a more intense strawberry flavor,
and
right?
Color, yep.
And
It'll
color.
give it a good color too. And you could still say it's made with all natural products, because it is. You're putting in fresh, real strawberries or frozen strawberries picked at their peak.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. So I'm going to try that Blue Moon and let you guys know how it goes.
Again, real serious. We've gone way over time. Real serious. If your dog is experiencing a debilitating cough, don't wait. Get them to the vet today. They've got to get on an antibiotic. And if you need help, have any questions, I'm here 7 days a week. You can call me Sunday night at 8:30, leave a message. I will call you back to say my dog's in trouble, or how do I make mango sorbet. That's
all
it.
in one. That's it, guys.
Have a good week.
Goodbye.
Bye.